On March 11th, 2019, Path of Exile announced a new stash tab to be added, the Unique tab. This allows you to store and showcase one copy of every unique in-game. When I read that, I knew what I had to do. I've set off to obtain every unique in-game in the solo self-found game mode, filling the Unique stash tab completely. This shit will take a long ass time and won't be easy, but I'm always down for a grind. I'm Lighty, and this is all for one. Okay, we're at the crematorium, and we're gonna go in. We have to go meet up with a certain lady, and then we also have a lab trial. So we can take this, we need a bank, we can. We're gonna quickly assign our pass point into acrobatics, which gives us a 30% chance to dodge hits, half armor, half. Less CS, less block, none of this stuff matters. We just want to be able to dodge like crazy.
Allow your wisdom to be tempered.
Oh, Azaro, I love your voice. Azaro's got to be my favorite voice actor in addition to the game, maybe outside of Einhard. They're both quite good, but Azaro's, man. Lab is just a great design. Can't wait to show you guys that later, though. There'll be a lot of Uber Lab in our future, eventually down the road. And also some potentially dank strats using Merciless Lab.
My shadow continues to nip at my heels. Bag it and tag it, boys and girls. Do it for science still.
So you just have to get her to like low life. She doesn't actually die. She just kind of fucks off after you do that.
Enough of this.
There she goes. But you could get her to 0 if you want. For the dank memes. Tolman's bracelet. So now it's actually better
Wait for us this time.
if we just
Too late.
leave, come back, and we should have our portal's not here anymore. I lied to you. Alright, so our instance is still open, so it lets us see really easily where the sewer is. We can just walk straight there. Tends to be pretty close to the door either way. If you're playing on hardcore, just be careful because there's a boss in 2 seconds. Most people just run right past him, but if you decide to fight him, he does have Tempest Shield, which has an amount of damage reflected back as lightning, and it can add up quite quick if you watch my life pool. So just be careful on that note, because like I said, he'll accidentally fuck you up. And here is the lab trial. It's down in the catacombs. The only thing down here, so much like Dread Thicket, this is essentially a useless zone. There's nothing down here, but there is a lab trial, which means it has strictly more use than the Dread Thicket. This is everyone's favorite lab trial because it involves the Roombas, which is just the greatest of all lab gimmicks. Little Roombas running back and forth. And the end of the lab trial here.
The last person to keep me this long developed a serious case of pyrophobia. Or was it pyrophilia? One of those. Maybe both.
Alright, so that's strange, but that's okay. Apparently the last person who owned the sword either was terrified of fire or just fucking came the second he was on fire. Finally got phase acro. All it is if you're ever getting acro, I tend to just go for phase acro anyway because you're spending whatever 4 points for 40% spell dodge, which is just like, I feel like it's worth it, you know. Say you're doing at 0, you fuck up, a flame blast hits you, you have a 40% chance to just live. So I like it a lot. I don't think there's much reason to go for acro and not go for phase acro. Alright, I legit don't know where Imperial Gardens is anymore. I feel like I've definitely walked far enough. So that's the Imperial Gardens waypoint, and I think we're gonna just go up and get the plum, and I'll also just do the lab trial over here. Probably just grab the library waypoint. This is like the reverse route I'd normally take. Alright, here's our last lab trial, which is the poison dart one.
An emperor must know precisely where he stands.
Oh, I forgot to click the thing. Can I still click it? I can. Tyrannosaurus Maximinarius. Marimoa has something for me. It's a gem. So, seismic trap, lightning spiral trap, flamethrower trap, ice trap. Got enough fucking traps. Alright, there's Samosa, and we're gonna just go click him. Get the waypoint. Go back to Imperial Gardens. Go get the plum. Then we're gonna go back to Piety. It's gotta be this direction. Oh. Path crashed. We're gonna go back to the docks, which is there. I should be able to hand this in straight to Fairgraves. He gives me a shitty rockin' ring. I guess I'll take that. Oh, actually rolled pretty good though. All res lightning. Alright, that's not bad. I'll replace Blackheart, I think. Yeah. Oh, rip. Man down. Alright, time for some piety. Very easy to kill. She has some phases. I don't know if I'll even really get to them. Did she get to them? No, she's not there yet. I don't know where she got. Oh, there she's in fire phase. So if she reaches a portal, she basically just absorbs the element of that whatever. And then she's dead, and that's that. Just a 4x4.
Finally, die in my fire, you bitch! Just
Oh,
die.
Jesus Christ, she's so angry.
Where's the body? She got away again? Ah!
So clearly, since my sword just called Piety a bitch, I assume there's some relationship there. So I'm almost guaranteed going to be hatred and ice bite and all that stuff, because once I unlock these, where the fuck are they? Jesus, these nodes, I'm 100% cold damage, which is fine by me. It's just then it just kind of changes how I play a little bit. Alright, so now it's a straight shot down. You have to go into the tower, climb all the way to the top, and find the princess and save her.
Have you ever seen the true face of God, Exile?
Damas has some pretty elite quotes also. I didn't even get a better mana flask now. I thought I was okay with a lesser mana flask, but it seems like I'd have to get a better one.
Maybe.
I'm going to walk from Aqueduct to Act 4, then we're going to go back to Act 3, and we're going to just bang out Labyrinth. Every side area with these little side extensions on Aqueduct, and then on Act 9 Blood Aqueduct, they always have a magic pack, a blue pack on the side. So it's always worth going down there and just killing them and then coming back. I'll pick up Herbalism, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So by 40 I'll have my full kind of set up with my 100% cold frost blades, and I could switch up my gem slots to really accommodate for that. Something like cold pen might be advantageous at that point. Okay, time to do lab. I don't know what the layout is today, so I'm going to go to pwlab.com and check it out. This is where we start, so there's going to be a reliquary thing and then a puzzle. I don't care about that. All I care about is the D's for dark shrines, especially on normal lab. And then, so I go straight, I kill, I go straight, I kill, I go straight, I kill, go straight, I kill. It's just straight the whole way for me. So today's a really nice normal lab. And if I was on maybe Merciless, I would do all the puzzles on the gauntlets and all the extra stuff. But for normal, that doesn't really fucking matter. So I just go straight the entire time and then easy peasy. If you're ever curious, you can come over here and you should be able to see this is the Curious Lockbox. So Curious Lockboxes give golden keys, which give you extra chests down the road. And then you have Labyrinth Trove, which give you random shit. So Curious Lockbox is actually the one you want the most. So given that scenario, I actually will do this. So for this one, there's tons of different puzzles and labs and whatever. But this one is a pattern one, so yellow, blue, red. You just follow that pattern, and that's how you solve the thing. So it looks like kind of a little daunting, but it's always the same thing. So yellow, blue, red, 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 and then you're out. It's that simple. And then you get to the actual lockbox, and it drops the tree, and it drops other stuff also, but mostly just the key. The only real downside about doing lab is if you die, or you DC, or the game crash, or the servers go down, you have to redo the whole thing. So it's a bit of a bummer. So this one, he's going to summon 3 little minion guys. They give him some buffs. If I want to kill them, if not, I don't have to. Just on the safe side, this is not one of the easiest ones to do. There are ones that are like really easy. And when he gets to about 30% in, which is right about there, he retreats. So I did it with all of them dead, which is means I don't get a key. You don't get a key if you do them all alive, but it's still something. Now there should be a dark shrine in this room. So dark shrines are pretty interesting. They always give you some sort of boon or buff or beneficial thing. And oftentimes they're hidden away by a little switch, but you can actually see them on the mini-map. So they're always going to be on the wall side, not going to be like in an inner circle. And there it is. So you can see on the mini-map there's like an empty spot right there. And there's the switch. You run your mouse up and down the side. And you'll eventually just like tag where the switch is and you'll be able to see it. Sometimes there's some mobs in here. This time there is. And what does it give me?
Dark influences.
Dark influences means I get to use the buff font at the end additional time, which is actually a pretty garbage one. And if I did for some reason fuck up and kill lieutenants, they'd be standing here, all 3 spots. But there's none there, meaning I didn't give them any buffs. So now it's these are the clicky ones or the attacky ones? These are the attacky ones. So I just gotta attack these every so often. There you go. So I just did it. And they're all down. If they were holding their swords up, you know that they're active, but they're not. So that's how you know I did it with a success, meaning that they're not going to be giving him a massive damage buff. You should really always bring a movement skill when you're doing lab, but I just didn't because, you know, whatever. And we got it. There you go. So extra unique. It's one of the better ones we wanted to get. I'm pretty happy about that. He has none of those, and he has none of those. So just have the key he drops, the 1 key there. An additional unique, and there's no lab traps. So you can take it nice and slow. And normally stand straight, and then he'll go to reposition, and then you just move one over. Bam. Two-hand mace is actually the one you want the most. He's the slowest attacks. He attacks like just a big fat dummy. He swings and it kind of hurts, but like slams and stuff like that, you could pretty much just, it's very telegraphed. One more hit, maybe one more crit I should say. Okay, not a very good unique, but that's, you know, it is what it is. Are worthy. Receive our blessing. Embrace our gifts and rise ascended. We're gonna go trickster, and specifically we're gonna go swift killer to start. We have the Arcana next. I think Patient Reaper afterwards, and Harness the Void last. Harness the Void is just mostly damage, but it's a fair amount of damage. But Swift Killer adds such a nice quality of life when it comes to our charges that it's just hard to pass up. Keys can be good. Jewel chest, alright. And then we get one more key. Random trash. Any uniques? Alright, we got a unique and a bell. Bell helmet. Doesn't really help us at the moment, but sure. It's a bell helmet. We are officially a trickster, which is a cool thing. So let's just go do back to Act 4 we go, clear Dried Lake, and let's see what it's like to live life as a trickster. So we're sitting at 4 of each charge, and it really does feel great. Our damage is 4k tooltip at the moment, which is not super realistic, but it's definitely just great to see. This is actually our first meeting with Nico, Master of the Depths. That's the whole delve mechanic. We legit will not see him again until we're in maps, so you could say goodbye now. Alright, this level's pretty important for us, so we're going to head back actually right here, and we're going to talk to Tasuni and get our passive point. Now this gives us 2 passive points, which means we now have Winter Spirit, which finishes our conversion of damage. So now our damage is a little bit of fire, some lightning, but almost all cold damage, which is exactly what we want. So we have tons of fucking cold damage now. It should be the Burning Man here. When he first came out, he was hilarious. People were getting one shot on him and stuff, because when he dies, there's a little bit of a detonation. I'll tank it just for fun. But yeah, it only does half my life, but it was a lot more lethal when it first came out. Alright, we've reached the drill. We get right there some LA resistance too, which is good. There's the waypoint. Now we have to split between Calm and Duresso. Alright, time to fight Big Dog Calm himself. Quite the easy battle, given my scenario, but overall, easy peasy. And that's that. Alright. Super fucking easy. So we're gonna take multi-strike. Alright, so my DPS actually is pretty much the same, but strictly better because it auto-targets.
If it lives, it bleeds. If it bleeds,
sword,
it
come
has
on.
a heart. Let us find it.
Come on,
and
sword.
set it ablaze.
Come on, sword. Okay. So the changes we just made, we swapped out our added lightning for multi-strike. So our damage actually stays the same. Our tooltip, give or take, stays the same. But we have no lightning damage. For the most part, we have a little bit from a ring or something. But a multi-strike, which means you auto-target, which is just nicer feeling. Our attack speed is a little bit low now, but it'll be a lot faster when we have charges up. We just set up our Assassin's Mark, Curse and Hit shenanigans, which is pretty nice. We'll have that going, which should help with our mana a little bit, along with just a little bit more damage. Interesting to see what new dialogue my sword says regarding piety. Clearly that's some sort of friction there between the Onigoroshi goddess and then piety herself. Okay, Malachai. I had Unholy and Onslaught for that. My damage was upwards of 8k. That's insane. Waiting to see if my sword says anything about piety being stabbed.
Stabbed right through the gut.
There we go.
Screaming, impaled, twitching. Now that is a proper way to die.
Okay, sword. And with that, Malachai comes to an end. It's a great death scene, though, if you've ever seen it before. And that is the end of Act 4. 2% helms, because I got 1 helm. I got 2 helms. Alright, we can make some unique boots. Best case scenario would be 7 league steps, but that is beyond optimistic. Alright, moment of truth. Oh, Wanderlust. Okay. That's actually quite good. I'm actually going to use these. So this is one of the better level uniques to get in the game. It's got mana regen, pretty high movement speed, 20%, but mostly can't be frozen, which is a really great boon to have. We are at the Ascent, which is the pathway from Act 4 to Act 5. Nothing really to do here, so we just clear through, loot and kill like normal. So that concludes today's episode, episode 2, and this marks the end of what I refer to as like the slowest chapter in the series. Next episode, you'll see a massive jump in progress for the time of a standard like 12 to 15 minute episode for the series. And it'll really pick up the pace and set the tone for the rest of the series down the road. I hope to see you guys there. Lighty out.